and good morning. The welcome to country. In Guringai language, there actually is no word for welcome. It's Gibberley. Gibberley means come together, just like we are today. I'm a direct descendant of the Garigal Clan from the Guringai people. The Guringai people are in this area. They have been for a long time. And I'd like to pay respect to my elders, both past and present. I'd also like to acknowledge and recognise their strength, their resilience, their courage, their loss of land, their loss of culture, the loss of history of the traditional custodians. The Guringai Nation runs from Port Jackson out to the Lane Cove River and all the way up to Lake Macquarie and the watershed of Pittwater. The Garigal Clan was led by the famous Aboriginal Bungaree. Bungaree was the first Aboriginal to be called a chief by Governor Macquarie. He was also known as Bungaree, King of the Blacks. He was a very intelligent man. He learned how to speak English. He became an interpreter and a negotiator. Governor Macquarie granted Bungaree 16 acres of land at Georges Heights in Mossman. The purpose for this? For a farm, to be able to provide produce for the ever-growing population of Sydney. It's on that farm that my great-great-grandparents first met. Bungaree used to love sailing. Well, he did have 5 wives. Maybe that's why he did. But he'd sailed many a time up the east coast of Australia on the tall ships, helping them map out this beautiful country. But it wasn't until 1803, when he was about 24, that Bungaree was invited to join none other than Matthew Flinders to map out this great country. At the end of the voyage, Bungaree had made history. He was the first Aboriginal to have sailed all around this great country. At the end of the voyage, Matthew Flinders said, "This place has too many names. I will call it just one, Australia." And then he looked to Bungaree and said, "I'll be able to call you an Australian," making Bungaree the first person ever to be referred to as an Australian. But my great-great-grandparents moved from the farm there in Mossman, and they came to live up here in the Hawkesbury, in a place called Mara Creek, a beautiful place. There's a book out called Love Amongst the Prawns. In that, it refers to my great-great-grandparents as John and Sarah. And John used to ask Sarah to sit in the boat facing him as they rowed, so he could watch her pretty face. Needless to say, they had 10 children. Unfortunately, 3 of them didn't survive infancy. But of the 7 that did, one of them was called James. James had a daughter called Emily. Emily had a daughter called Dorothy. Dorothy is my mother. I was born here on the Northern Beaches at Collaroy. I've lived all my life in the land of my ancestors. And as a descendant of the traditional custodians and on behalf of my ancestors, I wish you well on this sacred land, and I'd like to welcome you to the country of the Guringai people. Enjoy.